For the United Nations, it's been a road well traversed, a 60-year journey negotiating the harsh terrain of global politics, creating milestones out of its success stories. In these years, the United Nations has successfully overcome challenges and achieved its objectives with the participation and contribution of member states, with international peacekeeping being one of the most daunting tasks. Towards this endeavor of the United Nations, its member states, including India, have contributed soldiers for various peacekeeping missions around the globe. With their commitment towards duty, discipline and professionalism, Indian peacekeepers have been inspired to make sacrifices of the highest order, upholding the glorious traditions of the Indian Army. As one of the top contributors to UN's peacekeeping efforts, 70,000 Indian military and police personnel have served under the blue flag in 41 out of 57 peacekeeping operations across the globe. Such large troop deployment truly reflects India's capability and commitment in terms of professional soldiering. Only the best officers and soldiers with attributes like calm, reserve and determination will do for peacekeeping missions. So, the selection process is a tough one. Neutrality, fairness and respect for human rights must be clearly understood and adhered to. Would-be peacekeepers are also reminded that they are not going out to wage war, but to prevent infighting between belligerent groups. They are made to understand that the objective is to attain peace, not by force or armed conflict, but through calm and diplomatic reassurance. Peacekeeping had not originally been envisaged as a role of the United Nations, and so was not included in the UN Charter. Rather, it emerged as a pragmatic response to emerging global situations. Traditionally, peacekeeping operations have involved the deployment of military personnel from a number of countries under UN command. Over time, UN peacekeeping evolved to meet the unique demands of sharply different conflicts in an ever-changing political landscape. Indian troops have taken part in some of the most difficult operations in hostile territory, yet managed to win universal acclaim with their professional excellence and significant contributions towards world peace and stability.
In all these conflicts, Indian soldiers have played and have distinguished themselves through discipline, training and professionalism, and it is my hope that you can help set a new standard for UN peacekeeping.
It's a painful admission that in terms of numbers, India leads the list of countries whose soldiers have made the supreme sacrifice while on a UN mission. Despite these unfortunate incidents, India, as a responsible member of the international community, remains firmly committed to UN peacekeeping efforts in order to further establish peace and security around the world.
I want to thank the government of India for its support and of course for the sacrifices it has made. Over 100 Indian soldiers and police officers have paid with their lives while participating in our operations, and we are very grateful for that sacrifice made by Indian personnel in the pursuit of the cause of peace.
It is because of such genuine and selfless contribution to world peace that India's relations with the UN have been strong and are becoming even stronger with each passing day. India is proud to remain sensitive and responsive to the needs of world peace. It is always prepared to contribute selflessly and generously to UN peace initiatives in order to make the world a better and safer place in times to come.
Over the past decade, illicit trade has grown into a global phenomenon of far-reaching proportions and causing unprecedented human, social, economic, political, and environmental harm. It undermines sustainable economic development and has also become the primary source of funding for transnational organized criminal networks. In July and August 2012, Interpol and the World Customs Organization deployed Operation Meerkat across eastern and southern Africa.
This operation, in fact, is the first one, we can say, conducted in this particular sector, in this region. We have also to remind it's a joint operation between WCO and Interpol. In the first phase, we have recorded a good number of seizures, which were carried out by both police and customs. As we have discussed also during the preparation of this operation, we believe that we have to establish a sustainable approach for this region in order to support the activities which already are undertaken.
The focus of Operation Meerkat was to concentrate law enforcement efforts in combating the trafficking of illicit tobacco and alcoholic beverages, two product sectors which are highly affected in the region.
To most of these seaports, it arrives a lot of products and containers coming from different parts of the world that are going straight to landlocked countries such as Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Botswana. So that's why it's so important that the authorities continue performing this kind of strict control on the containers and the merchandise arriving to this region.
Our country is losing a lot of revenue every year due to illicit trafficking of cigarettes and other tobacco products. We are losing about between 3 and 4 billion rand each year on revenue, which it is very important for us to try to apprehend the people responsible for this type of crimes.
The main challenge that we face is obviously the understanding of the volume of these illicit goods that are coming into the country, as well as the monitoring and patrolling our borderlines, because we have quite a vast and expansive borderline where these goods come across. So monitoring and enforcing those kind of actions is one of our key challenges at the moment.
Operations require several weeks of careful planning, preparation, and integrated training, with close cooperation and coordination between all the agencies and organizations involved. Police and customs officials work together to patrol land, sea, and airport border control points, checking vehicles, boats, and containers for illicit goods. Raids at marketplaces and shops were also carried out. Operation Meerkat has again revealed increasingly elaborate methods used by transnational organized criminal groups to traffic illicit goods.
traffickers, they prepare a concealed area inside this bus in the underneath part, and they hide these tobacco products. These are part of the original consignment that it was hidden. This place, it was intervened some weeks ago, and it was part of an intelligence gathering from the private sector that gave place to an intervention performed by customs and an investigation that is currently performed by the police. So this whole consignment, it's valued around 1 million euros, and you see it's a big amount of cigarettes from many different brands. And the main problem they have, I mean, the infraction that they have is that this is a licit product, but it was hidden from the authority to avoid paying taxes. So that will, of course, imply that that money won't come for the government, and it will go straight to the counterfeiters and to the smugglers.
The resources required to police millions of movements of merchandise across borders involve close cooperation between officers skilled in prevention, intelligence, detection, and investigation.
This logo or seal that you find here, that they call the South African diamond, it must be included in each one of the legal cigarette packages, but we don't see it here, so this is an illegal product.
The operational coordination units monitored the exchange of information between the participating countries, with additional support and tools being provided by Interpol's regional bureaus of Eastern and Southern Africa. Those arrested during the interventions have their names checked against Interpol databases.
They will take the names and they will make the checks in the database. But this is only at the international level. But our colleagues here in the economic branch and the tobacco area, they are also doing the same checks in the national databases.
Police carried out 40 interventions during Operation Meerkat, which led to the seizure of more than 32 million sticks of cigarettes, 134 tons of raw tobacco, and 2,844 litres of alcohol. Once the criminal proceedings are concluded, the seized goods will be sent to central warehouses where they will be destroyed.
Operations like Operation Meerkat is playing a vital role to connect people from the different countries that we can liaise during these operations, and it's also operational sort of interventions that you can do through that.
The engagement with the WCO and Interpol in terms of spearheading this kind of operation is very important, and it gives us an opportunity to network with other countries, to utilize the electronic tools that are available to communicate and share information, as well as the seizure data on interdictions that are conducted in the countries. It also gives us an opportunity to share some of the risks that are being identified within countries. So the WCO and Interpol's engagement with this operation is very important, and we appreciate and we support it.
Certainly this operation has shown the possibility, the great potential of the cooperation between police and customs at national level, as well as by the relevant agencies internationally. These seizures, some of the seizures recorded are significant, and what is also important to underline is that the job is not concluded here. The exchange of information which occurred amongst the different agencies involved certainly will lead to additional seizures in the forthcoming weeks.
Human trafficking and forced child labour, these are global problems. Children are made to work under extreme conditions wherever they're told to go. In gold mines, or on cocoa plantations, or in the fishing industry. Some of these children are as young as 5 years old.
Les enfants, ils sont fragiles. Les enfants, il faut les protéger parce que la Convention des Nations Unies relative aux droits des enfants les protège normalement. Et ça, nous devons nous appuyer dessus. Nous devons travailler dans ce sens pour que l'enfant retrouve vraiment toute sa quiétude, tous ses droits fondamentaux doivent être respectés partout où il se trouve.
Quand on voit des enfants qui sont impliqués dans la construction donc, de maisons traditionnelles, quand on voit des enfants qui sont impliqués dans la fabrication de boissons frélatées, des enfants impliqués dans la production de charbon, mais c'est des choses qui sont inacceptables. Et cette opération a permis donc de voir qu'il y a encore d'autres formes de phénomènes auxquels il va falloir que nous nous attaquions.
And those children's human rights are gone because they're controlled. Totally. They are totally dependent on the person who has brought them there. Then they become totally dependent on the person who makes them do the work. And then they become totally dependent even on themselves for just basic survival.
It is only through partnerships that we can tackle this form of modern-day slavery. No one country or organisation can address these problems alone. By combining our resources, combining our strengths, combining our will, we can work together to save innocent victims from losing their childhood. This was why in June 2015, Interpol launched Project Akoma to unite efforts across West Africa to combat child labour.
Je pense que c'est un projet novateur dans le sens de la collaboration inédite entre Interpol et OIM et même avec les partenaires gouvernementaux, les ONG, etc. Donc je pense que cette approche holistique, cette approche intégrée là, donnera les résultats escomptés.
It was through this united effort involving the government, health workers, the IOM, and law enforcement that 48 children were rescued and 22 people arrested, sending a strong message to the traffickers.
That if you traffic these children in, there will be a police response. And from that you get prevention, and from that you get protection, and from that you can see very clear partnership.
How can you play a role in helping to stop child labour? How can you help protect the next generation? If we are going to make a change, we need to start with the children, and we need to start now, because in just a few years, they won't be children anymore.